I wasn't really sure exactly like what outlet to share it. I didn't know if I like wanted to write a book, do a podcast, and a podcast really felt authentic to get my message out. So here I am, and I couldn't be more excited. About 7 years ago, I went through some really crazy heartbreak. I went through my 20s and my early 30s and really struggled. I felt like I lost my entire identity and I had to learn how to rebuild myself. This was definitely a process. And so if you are in a place right now where you feel a lot of darkness and you feel a little bit lost, I want you to know that you're not alone and you are exactly where you should be. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of The House of Her. I am so excited that you are here. And just to do like a little recap, last week we were talking about room number 1, which was the decision-making room. And this week I'm going to be focusing on how to build your vessel. And there's actually many parts and many vessels that we want to build, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and intellectually. But today, I really want to hyper focus on how to build your emotional vessel. And I'm going to walk you through 3 practices that I do every single day that have really helped me to build myself emotionally. So I want to start out with a practice. It's a gratitude journal. And I actually, about 2 years ago, I was listening to the Skinny Confidential, or now the Bostics, and they were talking about gratitude journal. And I kept hearing it everywhere. Like everyone was like, you should try writing a gratitude journal, like wake up, do your morning pages. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. So I just started out by waking up in the mornings. I would make myself a little matcha with like my house-made almond milk. And I would sit down and I would just write 3 things that I was grateful for. And at that time, I was coming out of a breakup and I needed structure, I needed routine. And even thinking of like little things was actually really hard for me. So I remember just writing down like, today I'm grateful because I opened my eyes. Or today I'm grateful because the sun is out. Or today I'm grateful because I made my bed. So it started just like really simple. And then I started to add a few more things to my gratitude journal. I added like the energy that I wanted to give off that day. So for example, I would think about my day and I would think about like the energy that I just wanted to give out to the world. So some days I would write that I wanted to feel like magnetic. Some days I'd write that I wanted to give off like wholeness. Some days I would write that I wanted to be kind and give off like kindness. So just depended on like the day. And this was a really powerful practice because it allowed me to be intentional with the energy that I was giving off. That was my second question in my gratitude journal. And then I went to therapy and I was telling my therapist all about, I was like, I started this gratitude journal. I'm writing down like 3 things I'm grateful for, the energy I want to give off that day. And she was like, oh, I have another question you can add in there. She was like, I want you to focus on the beauty that exists in the world. So she was like, I want you, like when you're walking outside, to just like notice like what beauty is existing like in your world. So I started to add that, and I would take like walks at night. I do these like beautiful long sunset walks, and I would notice like an appreciation for the sunset, or I'd noticed an appreciation for like the way that like a rose would open. And I just started to notice all the beauty. Sometimes it would be like kids laughing, or sometimes it would be like a couple holding hands. But I just started to slowly notice all these beautiful things that were happening in the world. And then I added one more question. And this was the most important thing that I was going to do that day. And so, for example, this is not a checklist, because a lot of people think like, oh, like I'm going to answer these emails or I have meetings today, but this is not that. This is like more emotional. So for example, like something that I wrote down today was to call my mom and tell her I love her. Like when you guys are doing this, I really want you to be intentional with the thing that like the most important thing. Other things I've written in the past was like, make sure that you get in your sunset walk. Or the most important thing that I do is like call my best friend, right? So just being intentional with your time and emotionally what's important to you is really special. So I started to do this, and I started to build out like a gratitude journal. And this started on a daily it was like a daily practice, then it turned into like weekly, and then all of a sudden I had like months and months of journals. And my brain started to shift. Like the way that I actually started to like see the world completely shifted. So I started to do some research about this because I was like, could this be related to like neuroplasticity? There has to be more, because the way that I saw the world in this like positive light, like seeing all the beauty that exists, like this was all coming from this gratitude journal practice. I started to dig, and I actually I love Tony Robbins. I'm a big fan. And one of the things that he talks about is a part of our brains that is called the Reticular Activating System. And this system in your brain acts as an actual filter. So it filters through all the things, like, especially in today's world, you can imagine, like, we're bombarded with TikTok videos and Instagram and YouTube, and there's just so much information coming at us constantly. And so our brain is always trying to figure out, like, what's important? What do I need to filter? Like, what's the narrative that I'm telling myself? So anyways, Tony talks about this one exercise, which is, I'm going to share with you guys. It's so great. He says, if you are sitting in a room and I were to ask you to name all the brown things in the room, okay, so you would start to name like the chair, the table, the rug, right? Your brain is like noticing all these brown things. And then if I asked you, what's the pink thing in the room? You'd be like, what? So this relates back to like we're training our brain to be focused on certain aspects and certain things. And so this gratitude journal actually helped to train my brain to filter beauty, to filter gratitude, to filter what the most important thing is that I'm doing that day. And doing this over and over again, your brain starts to recognize, and you create a positive filter. And I am telling you, if you are in a place right now where you are stuck or you are just like at rock bottom, this practice will change you. So please, please, please give it a try and let me know how it supports you and how it helps you. Okay, so the next tip that I want to give is called Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. And this is kind of a self-love exercise. And the first time that I did this exercise, I want you to know that I actually felt really vulnerable, really raw, and I cried. So I'll get into a little bit more of this. But basically, what I want you to do is I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to look into your eyes. Your eyes are actually a window directly into your soul. And so I want you to look at yourself, and I want you to tell yourself whatever it is that your soul needs to hear. So what I do, and like this is an affirmation that I've used over and over again, I will look myself in the eyes and I'll tell myself that I am whole, that I am perfect, that God or the universe or the creator, whatever you believe, has created me with perfect energy, and I'm perfect just the way that I am, and I don't need anyone to complete me. I am whole and I'm perfect just because I exist. So I've used that a lot. Another one that I've used is the other day I was struggling, and so I got up in the morning, I looked myself in the eyes, and I told myself, like, I support you, I love you, I stand by you, I believe in you. And just giving yourself these affirmations and looking at yourself in the eyes, you're able to build a connection with your soul that is deep and powerful. And as a child, some of us have parents that are able to do this for us. They tell you, I'm so proud of you, I believe in you, like, you got this. But then as we get older, we have to learn how to give it to ourselves. So this practice of like looking in your eyes and telling yourself all the things that you need to hear is so powerful. And honestly, sometimes I'll tell myself these things over and over again until I really believe them. So this is my second tip, mirror, mirror on the wall. I really want you to try this next time you're having like a bad day. Or actually, you know what? I used to use this before going on dates. I would look myself in the mirror, and dates are hard because like you never know if there's going to be like a rejection involved, if you liked him and like he ends things, or you want to, whenever you date, you always want to come from a place of wholeness. So I'd look myself in the mirror. I would tell myself, you are whole, you are perfect, and you don't need anyone or anything to complete you. And then I would go on my date with like this whole energy. And when you love yourself, that's when you become a magnet and you attract everything else. So give mirror, mirror on the wall a try. And then I have one more tip that I want to share with you guys. This is a spirituality walk. So a few times a week, I love to like walk and watch the sunset. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And I obviously I'm super connected during this time. So I don't have my ear pods in. It's just me walking. I can hear like the birds chirping outside. I can hear people talking. Like I hear everything around me. And what I usually do during this walk is, so for me, I say God, but again, for you, it could be creator, universe, use whatever feels comfortable for you. But I do like I do a check-in with God. So I'll walk and I'll think about all the people in my life, most important people, my family, like my best friends. And I think about them being like wrapped in like this like white light. And the people that are close to me, I feel like I know the parts of their soul or the parts of themselves that like really struggle. And so I tried to send them unconditional love, especially like in those areas. I send them like healing, and I send them prayers and energy, and just imagine them in this like surrounded in this like beautiful white light. And then after that, I usually do another check-in with God, but more so with myself. And I ask God to guide me, to protect me, and to help me to elevate and grow and continue to learn so that I can vibrate at my absolute highest frequency, and so that I can exist in this world and I can do whatever he brought me here to be or to do. And sometimes if I'm struggling with a question, or like I'm not really sure of the direction in my life, I ask God to show me. I say, can you show me how I can be better? Can you show me, give me an answer so that I can make this happen? Honestly, every single time, like if I'm on a walk, like the answer does come to me, like somehow, some way, some shape, it does come. So if you are like in a place where you're struggling or you're looking to build your emotional vessel, doing a spirituality walk by yourself with nothing in your ears and building that connection with God or the creator and asking him to guide you, to show you, to protect you, and praying for all the people in your life, like this is so powerful. And for me, this belief in God allows me to surrender and trust myself and my intuition. And this has like been my absolute guiding force through all the things in my life. And so my goal for you is to also build that. And so give the spirituality walk a try and let me know what you think. So again, I'm just going to recap on my 3 tips. So number 1, try your gratitude journal. Wake up in the morning, make this a little ritual, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Look around and see what's beautiful in the world. Like what stands out to you? What is your soul calling you to do or to notice? What is the most important thing that you do that day? And what energy do you want to give off to the world? So just give it a try, make it a part of your morning routine, and let me know what you think. Second is mirror, mirror on the wall. Tell yourself all the things that little you wants to hear. Give yourself all the love, all the healing, believe in yourself, and almost act like your own mom, like your own super mom, and just fill yourself with love and look yourself directly in the eyes. This is so powerful. and you will develop a very deep relationship with yourself. And then lastly, a spirituality walk. Find like a nature walk or a beach walk. And even if you do this like 2 or 3 times a week, like this is so powerful, and connect to something higher than yourself, and have a conversation, ask for what you need and see what comes up. I really, really hope that these 3 tips will help you to build your emotional vessel and just help you to feel stronger and give yourself all the love that you deserve. Thank you guys for listening in, and we will be back next week with episode 4. Thank you. Thank you.